Hello, everyone, and welcome to another YouTube special for the Marine Conservation Happy Hour. And as usual, I'm joined by Dr. Scarlett Smash. How are you doing, Smashing?
I'm doing fantastic.
And we're joined again by Dr. Daniel Palacios from Oregon State University. And today we're going to be talking about the LGBTQ plus community in marine mammal science, or in fact, ocean science in general.
The
And
history of this. Yeah.
And Daniel has been working to try and sort of highlight LGBTQ issues in ocean sciences for quite some time now. So, Daniel, can you tell us about what the history's been and what your sort of journey has been in this area?
It's about a journey and a personal story. That's all driven by that. But it's also driven by the fact that visibility is very, very important. And it's also driven by the realization that safe spaces is something that we are just starting to come to terms with what that is and what that means, and something that we need more of. So those are the multiple foundations for me to, I identify as a gay man, and I feel that to be as good as I can be in my work, in my profession, in my field, I should be able to be myself without hiding who I am. And for a long time, going back to the history a little bit. So I'm 51 right now, almost 52.
Oh my God, you look fantastic.
Holy
moly, you're right, Dr. Craken. He
we're the same age. We are the same age.
Oh my God.
And we have known each other for a long time. I think since 1993 or something like that. But that's exactly the point, is that for a very long time in my profession, I didn't feel that there was any space, any role models, or any individuals for a part of my life that initially you might think of, well, what does your sexual orientation have to do with your profession? Well, so for the longest time, I just went along for the ride, but nevertheless, I always felt the one man out, alienated, just because everyone, it's not like people necessarily are discriminating, but everyone just generally tends to assume you're a straight man. And a lot of that comes from the history, where science as a whole comes from. The Western science, we talk about colonialist science and so on, driven by white heterosexual males. So a lot of the assumptions get projected even today. And we grow up with a lot of those projections. And after some time, you just feel like you're suffocated and you need to overcome all these things. So starting in about 2014, 2015, in the run up to the San Francisco Society for Marine Mammalogy Biennial Conference, I was just very dissatisfied with the situation. I had been meeting a few other gay colleagues. And I go, well, there's more than a few of us. How come we never see this being addressed, being talked about, or anything in our society? So I approached Ellen Hines, who I know as a personal colleague and friend, who happens to be a lesbian. And I said, hey, Ellen, why don't we do something about, the events being held in San Francisco, which of course is a very queer city and so forth. Why don't we just try and have something? And she immediately, she was in the organizing committee, so she immediately said, yes, absolutely, let's do something. So she took it up to the rest of the organizers, and they said, yes, you have the green light, the thumbs. So we had our first mixer of LGBT folks at the meeting, and that was just one evening. It was completely a smashing success. We expected maybe like 20, 40 people, and we had like 80 people. So of course the bar was just bursting at the seams. We actually were being approached to tell us that we couldn't have that many people there. Wonderful support from the whole community. And in a way, I feel that was kind of like the catalyzer for everyone to just feel more, kind of like the floodgates to open, and everyone to just feel more at ease. And we've been having, and to the realization that there's a lot of us who have other sexual orientations, or whatever it is within the LGBTQ spectrum. And so we have been having these mixers or some kind of a LGBTQ event at the subsequent Society for Marine Mammalogy meetings, and they're always well attended. And it's appreciated that we are able to do this and provide an opportunity for networking to connect, mentoring role models, and just feeling that you're not alone in this field. And that really helps to be more wholesome.
Absolutely, absolutely. And I saw several people at that event who I never knew were part of that community, and even dressed differently from what I see them in business meetings. This is the real me.
Oh,
You.
I mean, and I hate to say it, but that's so sad. The fact that they had to dress a certain way in front of you, and they felt like they couldn't dress the way that they want to. I mean, this is the way I would dress every single day if I could. You know what I mean?
Oh, she would.
It's like, what
Totally.
the heck? Just like, take me for who I am.
Unfortunately, the good thing is that the younger generations that I'm seeing coming up within the marine sciences community are so much supportive and accepting of this that finally we're just really coming across as who we really are. And that's really wonderful because it's empowering and gives us the ability to feel welcome in the sciences community that traditionally has been very biased toward
completely
heterosexual white
but
males.
It did start with people like you who paved the way, that broke the seal, right? Everyone had to do that little part for even the newer generations to feel like they can continue on and make it mainstream, and it's accepted no matter what. And anyways, I think that's an incredible way to end this episode. Thank you so much, Dr. Craken. Thank you, Daniel, so much for being on the show.
Thank you for having me.
And thank you everyone for being here on our YouTube episode. I hope you enjoyed it. Please like, subscribe, and follow us on all of our Instagram, social media platforms. And thank you so much for being part of the Marine Conservation Happy Hour community.